I don't do conventional deadlift anymore. That being said, let's go over all the checklists you will ever need. These are something what you can use for Romanian deadlift, stiff leg deadlift, all kind of deadlift. And we will start with the setup and then we go over the execution, because those are the most important part. If you don't mess them up, then you are never going to have any problem with, oh, I'm not feeling it or anything. That being said, your deadlift is going to look completely different to the person who has longer legs, arms, torso, maybe something else. Use the bigger plates to elevate the bar. This is also the reason why people get rid of their shoes. It's not because this is a magic trick. It is to improve their mobility without improving their mobility. You are going to start the deadlift lower down if you take the shoes off. Now mine is a barefoot one, so taking it off is not going to do anything, but that's the reason why. Bar positioning. You want the bar close to the center of your body. There are a few reasons why, and one of them is because you want to decrease the moment arm on your lower back so it doesn't explode. That sounds like a good reason for me. Foot positioning. You want it narrow. The reason is simple, because you want to stack the joint. If you're stacking the joint, you are more stable, therefore you are stronger. This is not even the only reason why, but you will see it when we get there. Grip is just outside of your shoulder, but you also want it in line with your shoulder. Otherwise, when you are coming up, if you are here, then it's going to push the bar forward as you come up, and then you are increasing the moment arm on your lower back, and then it's going to hurt like hell. Technically, it's not dangerous, but if you want to put the least amount of pressure on your lower back, you can just avoid that. Engaging your lats. This is the part where people usually tell you to just engage them, and you are standing there thinking, how? But the worst part is that nobody is going to explain to you how. And then you are just going to Google it at home, and then when you get to the gym, you are going to try some technique like the air straight arm pull down, and it's not going to do anything. To engage your lats, all you have to do is externally rotate your arm. When I'm using the bar, you just externally rotate your arm. That's it. And if you watch my video about back training, then you know that your lats prefer a tucked in position with your elbow down to your side. And that is the reason why if you grip the bar really wide, that's going to disengage your lats. And also, you have to start the deadlift from a lower position. So then my question would be, why did you take off your shoes if you still put yourself in the same position? Now comes engaging your core. Again, a phrase what people like to use without any explanation. Your lats are part of your core, but it is so much easier to engage them. All you have to do is take a deep breath and push your diaphragm down. So at the bottom of the deadlift, you take a deep breath, diaphragm down, you keep it in, and exhale when you are at the top. The reason why you have to do this is pretty simple. You don't have a rib cage around your lower back, so this is your only way of stabilizing it so you can produce more force. And this is the setup. Foot positioning, bar positioning, engaging everything, and your grip. Whatever anybody says, this is still a hip hinge exercise. So this is going to be better for your legs rather than programming it for your back. Granted, it will train your spine erectors and lower back with an isometric contraction. And also when you are coming up, it's going to hit a little bit of your quad, but way more of your glutes and hamstrings. Of course, that will depend on which type of deadlift you are doing. Pushing the floor away and thrusting your hip forward at the same time. And when you reach vertical, you're going to stop there. There is no point doing a hyperextension because all you are doing is jamming your joints and probably exploding your discs out of your back. The descending part is a tricky one. You have to start with pushing your hip back. Imagine like there is something behind you and you want to touch it with your hip. Once you can't push it back anymore, that's when you are going to drop your knee. At this point, when you can't push your hip back anymore, you should be really close to the floor. So it's going to be a tiny knee bend before you actually touch the floor. So just to repeat it, you have to push your hip back first. Once it can't go back anymore, that's when you're going to bend your knee. There are going to be different cues for different deadlifts. General idea, it always starts with a hip hinge. And if you don't get the hip hinge right at first, you don't have to worry. There are like 1,000 more reps what you have to do before you get there, because your journey is going to be different than the person sitting next to you. But there comes the question, do you need to use a belt? And in my experience, it's not harmful. If you are training for hypertrophy, there is a chance that you will never in your life need a belt. but all it does is helping you with the bracing, so stabilizing your lower back. And yes, I heard all the myth that it is going to weaken these stabilizer muscles because you are using an external tool, but it is just not true because you are still working them. Think about it, the belt is just an extra support. You still have to do your own bracing, but then you are also bracing against the belt for extra stability. So these bracing muscles are still working. Do you need to use a strap? And in my opinion, you should be. Your legs are going to be way stronger than your grip. But that is not always true. If you are training your grip, it can get strong enough so it can handle your body weight or even more, and multiple times of your body weight. And you're not going to have any problem with your grip failing first rather than you doing the exercise. So don't get discouraged if you don't get the form right at first. Remember, it's setup first, execution second, and all of your feelings are coming after that. If you want to learn more about back training and watch this video next, like, comment, subscribe. For coaching, hit the link in the description. Follow me everywhere. Talk to you soon.